Hello, good evening, everyone. For today's lesson, we are going to discuss about the basic sentence structure in German, how to construct or understand a sentence in German. I know most of us are struggling to understand these basic sentence structures, and today I want to open your eyes to how they are done in German. It's very simple. This is the basic one we are doing today. Maybe in the other videos I'll discuss about the a bit complex ones, but for now, but you're focusing on this one. If you don't understand from the basic one, the scratch, woko in my baby. Inti, my head is simple. May take it time. Actual notes, with explanation and everything, so that you understand. And I've added some examples. I'll put this notes in the video description so that you can download and go through. And if you don't understand anything in the video, please try and watch it over and over again, at least 2 times. Just watch, you will understand. Okay, this thing, it takes practice. If you don't practice, yes. Inti, and a very basic sentence structure in German. In German, I'm kind of Satzstruktur. It's just a sentence structure. But by we want to understand why this and this is that. Okay. If you don't know anything about it, don't worry. I'll break it down for you. Yeah. So the learning objectives for today's lesson is to know the subject and the verb relationship. Okay. How the subject correlates with the verb in a sentence. Most of us don't know, and we just use AI. AI will give you the answer all right, but you don't even understand what AI is giving you, whether AI is correct or wrong. You don't know. So today, say sentence will be. This is the meaning. This is how it works. Okay, so you can even construct your own sentence without AI. If you are not perfect, don't worry. Just keep trying. Into sentence structure, and a bit about the position of the verb. Maybe a verb, original in all the sentences in German. Almost they are very simple. The rules are basic, and then it applies in almost every sentence. There are a few exceptions, okay, and I'm going to talk about all of that. So the first example is this one, which we are all familiar with. If you don't know anything about this, please try and watch the other previous videos. I talked about how to know someone in German. Okay. And the question and answers, I'm sure it's there. So this is Ich heiße James. It means my name is James, or I am James. Okay. But if you don't understand why it's like this is the meaning. Meaning in Chese. So Ich heiße James. Just say I am James. That's the meaning. Or my name is James. And in this sentence, Ich I. And heiße I am. Okay. Or my name is. but the I am is the most commonly used for the I say. If you want to use my name is, you can use my name. Okay, so let's say I am James. So we know am is a verb which means to be. Okay, it's a verb. I don't want to go more details into it right now because the video will be very long. I want to cut it short for us. Okay, into we know I na subject and am no na verb no. And in German, okay, the verb mostly take the second position of the sentence, no matter what. In most cases, especially a sentence like this without a question, the verb will take the second position. You can swap the subject. The subject is volatile. It's may back right, it's may call left. But verb, you know, most cases in second position. As for the conjugation, you know, okay, it changes. I'm not talking about conjugation today, so I'm not confused. I want you guys to understand the structure of the sentence, okay? The subject and the verb. There's no object in this one, only subject and verb, okay? So with this one, let me show another example. Is born in Accra. Is born in Accra, say I live in Accra, and I say I stay in Accra. All right, and we know say to live is a verb. This one, inti mashada verbs ni nyama any red, and a subject ni nyama any yellow. So I'll put the notes in the description. You can download and go through. Okay, my end is simple so that you guys will know the difference. Inti you realize say Von and also was second position like this. The von is not in the first. In some cases, there's an exception where the verb will start the question. But we know say if a verb starts a question, in most cases, if a verb starts a sentence, in most cases, it's actually a question. Okay. Mean for verb and start a sentence and then a question. A very difficult. I don't want to confuse you, but me mom just you know because cut down in you know the difference. Okay. So so no I a pronoun. This is a pronoun. I. It's a I, he, she, them, we, us. So how we you know. Ish near I. And vorne near verb. Vorne means to live. Maybe I would say. What I say. So, okay, let's check this example also. Into my notes waha. So what I'm trying to say is that a basic rule in sentence formation in German is that the verb always take the second position. Always. And yet always say all the time. There's an exception. But then in most cases the verb will be in the second position. With the entry example so an example like this. Heute bin ich Berlin. Heute bin ich Berlin. Okay. This is a direct translation here. I will discuss about how to read sentences in German without using AI. Now with me translating it straight. Okay. But we are discussing about subject and the verb. If you look at this one, the verb is still in the second position. Sentence, today I am in Berlin, but I know in English, I know a second, but in German, in German, no, most cases, if you do direct translation, you need to understand these basic rules before you can actually know how to direct translate it in English. And yes, with my say, today am I in Berlin waiting. If you do direct translation like that, I'm waiting. But you need to know, say, this rule, this one is that most cases in sentences, the verb will take the second position. If you know this one, and no, that's all. Don't confuse yourself. Okay. The only confusion you need to think about in the exception. If you know the exception, that's all. And so how. So another note is a subject. The account rule no say subject a volatile a done no. It's equal right, it's equal left. Subject need to equal right, it's equal left. And a right and a left and a all corner. A bit me abaha and answer bebaha. So right and a beko before the verb. Then left and a beko before the verb. And the right side will be after the verb. Untimi for we me shaha abra verb no waha. Waiting. They go hand in hand. Inti ushe we are is I say James. We ni ba ya na verb no to aso. Untimi fa is bibi me shawa ansa na high senaba. You are wrong. And tisa, you need to know this. Say the subject and the verb, they go hand in hand. So note in the grammar can say the subject is placed either on the right side or on the left side of the verb. Okay. Inti send a hano away. Send a say no. Beno is always the verb is always in the second position. So the subject will come after or before. Untimi fa bibi mbeshaha. Now the subject na baha. You are wrong. Untimi nka say heute bin in ich Berlin is wrong. Is wrong, please. Don't confuse yourself at all. Waiting. The correct thing is say, kawasam na ben no a verb na. Make sure verb is in the second position of what you are going to talk about. Unless the thing is a question. It was a bit draw, but Sadena will come in your question. Don't bring the subject somewhere. Na verb will be with C. Even in most cases, the verb starts the sentence and it follows with the subject. The verb, you can't use a verb, then something else, then you bring subject. You are wrong. You are wrong, please. You are wrong. You can't bring an object and a verb, then the subject will be somewhere. It's wrong. This is no English language. This is German. And German rule is saying that German runner or culture will say the baby verb in second position, but subject in bit me aba before the verb or after the verb. Patron found to be trimo. Bra, you don't have to challenge it. And yes, I'm waiting. Okay. Anyhow, another example. It's been muted, which I say I'm not so well. I think if you watch the previous video where I talked about how are you in German, you see something like this. We will say example we will. See another one. We will say the verb is still in the second position. Chesembrani ye juma. So I've made it simple for you guys. My end is simple. Notes no aha. Who read notes in the crowd say aha no verb no subject no eba before the verb. Okay. And no subject no ba after the verb. And don't just say we are wrong and I we are wrong. Ninya the same thing. But the be wrong in say what they in the share subject na name. It's wrong. Say how it been in each. No. We don't do it like that. Okay. So this is how the position of the verb is a constant. Math na say a constant. And for this side, and sun. Okay. But you do questions would it be some a confusion kakra, but I'll break it down for you guys. There are two types of questions. Okay. One is V-fragging. V-fragging questions now start with W, where, what, which, why, oh. These questions are called V-fragging. V-fragging. Into any debate will be a questioner starting with W. We are very familiar with these ones. V-Z. Verse expression do. Verse expression Z. Okay. Vonen Z. With the entry examples, you understand. So first example here, vonen Z. Okay. And here, the emphasis is on the subject and the verb. Okay. Osha, I have no question, The rule still holds here. Rule is say embrano, German embrano, or catch say verb was second position, no matter what. Unless it's a question where there's an exception. I wanted the confusion, a bit confused, but and simple. If you understand the rule, you don't have to worry. Okay. Inti when we say vonen Z, where do you live? Inti mine is simple. The red label is the verb and the yellow is the subject. Inti Oshana, the subject comes after the verb with the V-fragging questions, Subjects in the bar after the verb. Once we a general examples now, the mom, where this one the subject is before and this one the subject is after. Sorry. This one the subject is after the verb. Okay, but you have no questions now, Kasa. It comes mostly after the verb, and I'm bit say always after the verb. Into me can't answer. Would be show dreams after the verb inti. We never be baby. This is not always the last position of the sentence. So it comes after the verb. Inti bit me about say bibi be twice or sa question mark we need. Oh, something can happen here, but with this example, I say with the two trim. The verb is in the second position, and with the V-fragging questions, the subject comes after the verb, not before. Because the V verse we need to have a subject name in the first examples near subjects in the sha, and I swapping near this we need to have Into subject, a movie, abeshe verb nature instead of verb name. Okay, so this is the reason. And the quantity away ni hand say, the way I will replace subjects, So there's no way a subject in between me. If the subject a common rule, subjects, either saw a verb name and a verb nature. Only baby I could be. Untimi family share baby. What the shower waiting, the straw. Pamucho, Munsians are very important. So, one tears the next videos in the mobile. It's a simple subject, baby or one say or she verb ni man a verb nichi untimi ntra enko verb nichi baby kwa where sa waiting into note no I can say the subject comes on the right side of the verb but verb ni the ono show oni baby akọ waka second position waka onko baby abio. Okay, into examples kakra minya V hyphen Z. What is your name? V gate S in N. How are you doing? V out sin Z. How old are you? Wo wants do. Where do you live? Was sen dine. Hobbies. Ahanu yendru but enchebia ibedru. What are your hobbies? This is conjugated. This so we need they are conjugated. Intina me can I say the subject conjugate the verb. Where a conjugated verb is different from its base form. It's a verb different depending on as a seminar is and depending on other instances where I will explain later. Okay. Into Osha verb Osha and I say at the quintia verb in Aba and say these two are together. V out this particular question. How old? Untiminka say how are old you? This particular question they go together hand in hand. Into Osha I say we ne boom. Which man can say we ne boom one at a boom a relationship. Into Untiminka say how are old you is wrong. Into that we number third position. But in most cases this comes in the second position. Okay. And I also saw a second position. And see, we share our questions here. The subject is after. Subject number after the verb, after the verb, after do, after the verb, after. Into what my end the same thing in English so that you know difference. I'll correct the ones I didn't do. It's very simple. Into what the verb is placed at the second position and the subject follows with this one V fragging questions. The questions are what, where, which, why, so our questions immediately you see them we say subject need the verb nichi. Very simple rule. But the only exception is the way if any nine fragging questions are yes or no question. Yes or no. Are you married? Yes or no. Do you have kids? Yes or no. Okay. These questions, the only the end say the verb will come first. This is the only exception I have today. Okay. I'll look for other exceptions later, but Oshema examples are my verb no second. We ya nine fragging. Yes or no questions. Into Osha Hana haben Sie Kinder verb in start. Sie sind Sie verheiratet. We sa verb in start. So that's the only difference. And the community we in start and say who be saying in English say you do have children and I have do you children. No. And you're correct. See, it's almost the same as in English, but this is German. The German rules are different. Okay, so very simple. The only exception is that the verb will come in the first position and the subject will follow. But for the rest, the verb is always in the second position. Then the subject can be either before or after. It can follow or come before. Okay. Into examples, baby, I mean, 8 for now, 8 na minya. Into Osha, sub verb in the start. Verb. And I've made it very simple. My translating in here, if you don't understand what they mean, these are the translation. They are very simple. Wohnst du Munich? Do you live in Munich? Kommen Sie aus Deutschland? Are you from Germany? Wohnen Sie in Ghana? Do you live in Ghana? Spielen Sie Fußball? Do you play football? Sprechen Sie Italienisch? Do you speak Italian? Verstehen Sie mich? Do you understand me? But your way crown in the vocabulary. Oh, these are new words. Maybe you haven't heard of them. You can learn it and put it in your head. If you are able will be a B. Okay. If you have to portray exam, so bit me will be a B in a question or in an audio or something in a podcast. What's this our word we are? You can put it in your head. Haben Sie Zeit? Do you have time? And say, oh, push away in the end. All the verbs in the end started. That's the only exception. And you be into my notes in the simple say the verb comes for the other ones, anyway, you other ones, verb in the second position for most of the sentences, because we are dealing with sentence structure, general sentence structure, and only question and answer. So general sentence structure, like sentence bia weba uchim bia no, you have to know most of them. Verb no was second position unless it's a question. Say if the sentence is in the form of a question, you have to think. Say you need to remember if the question is a yeah, nine, yes or no question, and now say a V fragging the W questions, W no, what, where, which, why, those questions, who's idea now? Just you know the rule. Say W question, you know, say the verb is in the second position, then the subject will follow to the right side. So before and after and be confused. The V fragging, the subject will come to the right side of the verb. Okay. Because a follow now you can say the right side of the verb. But with the ja9 fragging, the verb is at the first position. That's the only difference. But still, we can subject in the verb nature still on the right side. But the only difference is say there's nothing here. It's only the verb that starts the question. So these are questions. So we are questions. We fragging, nine fragging. And we are questions. So they are not like this one. Examples we am the man. We a general sentence, general. I couldn't get many examples but I'll work on it. So I'll fix the notes. Maybe I might take it. I'll take everything in the notes and I'll put it in the description of the video. So please, you can subscribe so that anytime I upload a new video, you get a notification and you watch. Because German kasano, but very simple. This is A1. A1 is simple. So just imagine we are B1. Okay, simple but awesome. So you have to learn every day. At least take 30 minutes of your time and you do your personal learning. It will help you. That's what I do. So I'm used to this pronunciation. Wohnen, saa way no ɛnyɛ den, very simple. So I think this will be the end of the lesson, and I'll add more lessons to it. All right, choose, and auf Wiedersehen. We shall meet again.